Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's show. As you can tell, it's mock draft season. We're getting a head start on it. I'm not liking what we're seeing in training camp. That means straight draft, mock draft mode of the year tonight. We're doing 3 rounds of the draft. I'm just kidding. Got y'all. Got y'all. What's up, Mike?
What's up, man? It's been a long time. The Frisco Report 2023-2024 season right here, ready to kick it off. You know, we've been doing this thing in the off season. We always take breaks during the summer. We're right here. First preseason game on Saturday, Joe, that we play them stink Giants about 4 weeks away. I am ready. I am pumped.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Back from vacation is good. And now we're back in the saddle, as you could say. I'm back in the Cowboys saddle, and talking Cowboys here, the Frisco Report. Mike, we're going to talk about the latest news coming out of training camp. We're going to catch up on the news on the team and where we sit, as you say. You know, coming up on the first preseason game of the year. Let's get right into it, Mike. The biggest news of the training camp continues to go with this with the Zack Martin holdout, Mike. What is your what do you think is going to happen here with this? Is this going to bleed into the regular season?
I don't think it will. I mean, Zack Martin's fines are already accumulated over $600,000. All right, and the way Jerry Jones is singing a different tune here than what he did, like with guys like Zeke and the other holdout guys from recent history. And he's singing a whole different, like, well, we're dealing without Zack Martin. We're treating it like an injury, And I don't know how much I like that. Zack Martin, next year, because they restructured so many contracts with him throughout the years, not restructured so many contracts, restructured his deal throughout the years. Next year he's making $24 million. So, I know the Cowboys value him. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, right? Instant. But he's 32 years old. Next year will be 33, obviously. How much more do you invest there? Do they want to move on from Zack Martin and Tyron Smith at the same time, Joe? They'll be shooting themselves in the foot, right? They can't do that. So they got to take care of Zack, get him in here because he's had some injuries, all right? And him missing all this time, it scares me a little bit, Joe.
Yeah, I think they got to take care of him, man. He's taking care of them by moving his money around to get other players around. It's just time to return the favor. This whole thing about Jerry Jones treating his injury, he can get his old thumb, stick it up there, twirl on it, and then that's it. That's how I feel about him, dude. You know what I mean? Like, take care of the goats, man. Like, it's been apparent in training camp that it's really affected their ability to execute a lot of their plays, dude. It's apparent, man. I mean, they've kept Tyron around here, limping around for the last 5 years. You know what I mean? So, Zack, I mean, he's got at least 3 more good solid years in him, man. I mean, if we've carried Tyron this long, they got to do it right. So, to keep it short, Mike, I think that they're gonna they'll work something out, some sort of incentive, front some money up to him, maybe under the table. Something's gonna happen, right? Something's gonna happen.
So the highest guard makes $20 million a year. Zack Martin's sitting at 13, Joe. And obviously, it's hard to speak on another guy's money, but are the Cowboys thinking, we can't go full 20. Do you want to meet in the middle and let's say 17 and a half? Like what do you think really, like, do you give in and give him $20 million a year? Do you make him one of the highest paid guards in the National Football League again, right? Or do you say, meet me in the middle, Zack Martin, at 17 and a half? Does that get it done?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned what you said of 24 million next year, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, he's got money coming up. I think, they're the masters of rerouting money and this sorts of thing. They could they could change it up. We got cap space. What are they going to do? I mean, with that cap space that we have right now, um, they do it every year. They do it every year. They carry some empty money for supposed. Oh, maybe we're going to pick somebody up or another contract. So I think they'll feed them some money. You know what I mean? Just to do it right. You know, they got to make the situation right before it turns contentious and bad blood, which I don't think that'll happen. I think Zach's gonna be a Cowboy for life. He'll retire a Cowboy. He'll be in the Hall of Fame first ballot. Question is, Mike, and the very very sad question is, will he get a ring with the Cowboys? All right.
Do you
We
want me
saw
to answer
Demarcus
that
Ware.
honestly?
I mean, we saw Ware just get into the ring, Hall of Fame. Had to get the ring somewhere else. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens, man. But I think they'll do it right, Mike. Let's jump right into the latest on camp news, bro. All right, everybody's talking about what's been happening all off season. Dak Prescott, the interceptions in camp, and this and that. Now, a lot of these I think can be attributed to the wide receiver from what I've seen in some of these. But what is your thoughts? Are these interceptions that are happening in camp now starting to worry you? Is it these receivers that just aren't any good? Like, what's your thought on it, real quick, Mike?
So everybody knows I'm not a Dak fan. All right. So I'm going to give you my honest take on this. All right. Everybody buckle up, sit down, and get ready. Dak throws interceptions in practice. He always has. It's nothing new. Go back to last year's training camp. Go to the year before that. Go back 8 years of training camp, Joe. Dak Prescott throws picks in training camp. He takes a little bit more chances than he's supposed to. He tries to, feel how tight he could throw those windows. And, you know, it all boils down to Dak getting in sync with his wide receivers. Now, Fahok the joke, all right? He's been dropping passes, tip passes, and leading to some of Dak's interceptions in season and in training camp, right? And Dak Prescott said, hey, I want to eliminate tipped interceptions. And then Fahok the joke goes in there, and one of the first passes of training camp, tip interception, right? So, I like that Dak can take those chances, find those windows that work best for him, and learn and develop and build chemistry with those wide receivers. Dak throwing now the whole thing of you play how you practice. When it comes to experimenting, it doesn't work for that. Now, if you have bad technique, if you have things like that, and you do that in practice technique wise, yes, that's going to carry over to the game. You're going to get hurt or you're going to look really bad, right? So Dak trying to get in sync with his wide receivers with a new playbook, with different routes, different quick routes and stuff. I want Dak to get it out now rather than later.
Yeah, everything you said is 100% factual. That he does do that in practice. It's a known thing there. So for me, Mike, I'm not really worried about it myself. Now, if we have some sort of relapse and it's another situation in the regular season, then yeah, I'm gonna be definitely speaking on it. But right now, I'm not worried about it. Like you said, you want to get this, you want to iron everything out, you want to get it out of the way now in camp. So now, that being said, Mike, I think you are seeing some separation here with some receivers where they just ain't getting shit done, bro. All right, Simi Fahoko, no good, bro. Let's just say what it is. He sucks, bro. He's not getting it done, man. He's not getting it done. So uh now is the light gonna turn on for him during the preseason, Mike? Is he what
No.
he is? I mean, so I don't feel good about him, Mike. Jalen Tolbert, man, I just don't know, bro. When I look at practice, it's not something where I'm like, oh yeah, he's a whole different person, bro. Like I'm just like, I don't know, man. And then now I will tell you this, Mike, and you and I have talked about this briefly. The rookie Jalen Brooks, bro, is he in contention here for the number 4 receiver? Like, what's your thoughts on those 3 guys right there, Mike?
So Fajelko, no go. All right. Um,
Yeah.
Jalen Tolbert. Oh, he has his shirt off. Oh, he's about to light it up. Oh my God! Do you see the 8-pack he has? Do you see the pythons that he's
Mm-hmm.
carrying? Right. That don't that don't help a. It helps a wide receiver be muscular to be able to take hits and stuff, but that don't help you, Joe, run routes. All right. That don't help you catch the football. All right. For Hulk, the joke, man, he's going to get cut. Jalen Tolbert, I'm not buying the hype. We weren't buying the hype because he had his shirt off, right? But let me talk to you, like LA Knight says. Let me talk to you about Jalen Brooks. All right, listen. We did a time capsule video, all right, and we talked about different players and different things. I can't remember what I said about Jalen Brooks, but I remember talking about him. I just want to eat my crow now and say, look, Jalen Brooks is coming alive, all right? And I like what Jalen Brooks is. It's different, right? Because with Simi Fehoko, there's inconsistencies, right?
Yeah.
You'll see Simi Fehoko make a big catch. Then you'll see him drop a big catch. Then you'll see Jalen Tolbert, run a good route and then run a dull route, right? So, but what I'm seeing with Jalen Brooks, who at South Carolina didn't even really have a lot of catches, didn't have a lot of stats, Joe, coming into training camp, really pumping it up at the wide receiver position, making guys like Fehoko and Tolbert expendable, all right? And I like that.
Yeah. No, I mean that to me that's where it's at, and we talked about needing an unsung hero this camp. Whether it would be like an undrafted guy like Miles Austin, somebody like that. But we kind of have that with Jalen Brooks, a late round pick. So we needed something like that. Hopefully, this will translate to the field here now in the preseason. If he hits those earmarks in the preseason, we're doing good. Fehoko, probably out, man. Probably out. Camp body, practice squad guy. Just keep him over there in the practice squad. Can't run routes, man. He's just not on the same page with the quarterbacks. Like you said, he'll make a catch here and there, but you're seeing a lot of the bad stuff that has kept him off the field. Would they cut Tolbert? Probably. I don't think they'll cut Tolbert, but
they won't cut Tolbert. No,
they'll keep him.
Too much invested there.
Yeah, just because of the investment, they'll keep him there. But Cowboys under Mike McCarthy, I feel like that they're going to play the better players. You know what I mean? This has really become his team with all the draft picks on offense and everything. You know what I mean? So it's going to be one of those camps where you're going to see a lot of youth out there in the preseason. But, Mike, I got to ask you this, man, because we talk about this shit all the time. Do the Cowboys need to play the vets at some point in this preseason game? We got 3 preseason games. Are we going to see any of these guys play any significant time? I'm talking, maybe a quarter, or are we talking like just a few series? You know what I mean? Like, what do you want to see from the vets in the preseason? Anything?
I want to see a few series in the third game. Just a few series. Get that game tempo, that game feel like tempo, right?
Yeah.
Just for 2 or 3 series max on both sides of the ball. Now, I wouldn't risk playing Tyron Smith. I wouldn't risk playing Micah Parsons. I wouldn't risk playing Hooker or Curse or Damian Wilson, who's coming off an injury, right? But I would risk like just some components like Terrence Steele, who hasn't played in forever, right? Tyron Smith, he needs to play a little bit just because he hasn't played, consistently at that left side position, right? So I would Tyler Smith at left guard, I would want to play a couple of game series with just for them to get that feel like, okay, it's here. So we don't have any excuses when we go play them nasty, stinky Giants.
Yeah, man, I'm on the same page, man. They gotta play something, man. the last couple of years they haven't played shit. They come out, man. Rusty as fuck the first game, and then the excuses. Oh well, you know, we didn't do this and we didn't do that, and well, you know,
We've lost a couple of. Have we won a season opener with Mike McCarthy?
um,
We lost to the Bucks twice.
lost to the Bucks. Yeah, so can't lose to the Giants, though, man. Can't lose to
we
the
beat the
Giants.
Giants. I
The
think we beat the
Giants.
Giants this first year. I think.
The Giants are they're a better team, so they better be ready. So I don't want any rust. You know what I mean? But you're right about Tyron Smith. Tyron Smith, he's already double bubble dropped. So would he even my and you and I have talked about this offline, is like at the end of the day, is he even gonna play week one? Because he'll tweak something here right at the last second, and then here we go, like, oh, he's not even gonna play. And here we go with the jumbling of the offensive line, Mike. So with that being said, Mike, this is a good a good segue to talk about the offensive line here in training camp. Obviously we got Zack Martin holding out, uh, but from what you've seen from Tyron Smith at left tackle and what you've seen from the backups, what is your level of concern for the offensive line going into the regular season?
So Tyron Smith, Micah Parsons, that battle has been great. Tyron Smith will win some. Micah Parsons will win some. He's had to take some veteran days, stuff like that. Um, it's Tyron Smith, man. It's hard to bash him because when he's healthy, Joe, even in this day and age, when he's healthy, he's top 5 left tackles in the National Football League, hands down, right? But the problem is health, right? So the concern there is health, right? Not really play. Tyler Smith, man. What can you say? Tyler Biotish came down with a little ankle tweak. He's going to be okay. So not concerned there. Zack Martin, where you at? Terrence Steele coming back at this time to start training camp. Blew my mind, Joe. Really shocked, really happy about that. Doo-doo Pants Steele coming in the clutch, getting that knee right, all right? And then there's one guy, Chuma. He might win one on Micah Parsons a practice, all right? But not every defensive end is like a Micah Parsons in the National Football League, right? They're rare. And so I think Chuma as a backup, it's going to be better than Chaz Green, all right?
Hopefully.
Hopefully. There's a guy named Bass, TJ Bass, I think it is. I like him. I like Bass. Little long-haired guy, strong. He's been filling in at the right guard position, maybe a little bit of center. I do like Bass. Keep an eye on Bass for Saturday. Josh Ball, I'm not really trusting him there at that to fill in for Zack Martin. All right, Josh is dropping the ball. All right,
so stock down on Josh Ball.
Matt Walesko, 71. You'll see him out there. It's hit and miss, dude. I don't know. He had a stellar camp last year. Then he got that shoulder surgery. He just hasn't looked the same to me. Oh, well, let's go hasn't. So the offensive line to me, if it was a 1 out of 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the most concerned, I'm like at a 6, dude. I'm at a 6. I'm not like totally concerned, but I'm not overly optimistic. I'm just right above it at a 6.
Yeah. I think I'm a little past 6. I'm probably. I'm keeping my eye on it because from what I've seen from these backups, it ain't getting it done. It's not. They wouldn't hold up against the starters. You know what I mean, like a Dexter Lawrence for the Giants or somebody like that. This whole thing, I mean, they're putting a lot of their eggs in the basket with Tyron at left tackle. I mean, maybe he'll play a game, a few games, but he will miss time. And when that happens, where does the shuffle go? Are we talking about Tyler moving out to left tackle? Who are you putting at left guard? You know what I mean? We had a pretty good guy there with McGovern, who was pretty decent. I think coming along there as a left guard, but obviously let him go. So who then would be that left guard option? You know what I mean? Once that injury does occur, who would it be, Mike? Who's your
I think
lead candidate for the left guard?
I think you're going to leave Tyler Smith there. I don't know if you're going to kick him out
The
because he
fuck?
hasn't had because he's not running left tackle with second teams. So I think you're going to see a guy like Chuma or Matt Walesko step into that left tackle spot, and let Tyler Smith, I think, is going to stay at left guard because if he's running with second teams, you would think he would be left tackle, but he's been playing left guard this whole time, right?
Interesting. Yeah, good point there. Oh man, I just and that's why I'm saying I'm a little bit more on the worried side because, I mean, Tyler's gonna get freaking hurt, bro. Oh, sorry, I hate to say, it, but damn it. And Dak needs that stability. You and I always talk about it. There is no stability there. Happy feet, interceptions up the ass. Forget it, bro. Season sunk. So let's pray to the football gods or whoever God you believe in that there's stability there on that left side
I
because
think everybody believes in a football god.
we definitely need it, man. We definitely need that. Here we go. Stevie Mack in the house. Let's see what we got here. I like this one here. There's Stevie Mack. Start down in the front office for messing around on the O line. I agree, man. They have to round, and now they might be finding out by possibly jeopardizing the season because of the done. Yeah, man. I agree with that, dude. I totally agree with Stevie Mack here, Mike, because I think during. When we were talking about the draft, we're talking about, offensive line is probably going to go early, right? Because we got to
talk
put
about
somebody,
that, yeah.
we got to put somebody next to Tyler or let Tyler eat at left tackle and get you a guard. And as the picks started coming through, Mozzie Smith, which I like the pick, and then the second pick, the whole draft was defensive sided pretty much, Mike.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more optimistic than you guys are, and I could be wrong. Now I'm not talking about Walesko or Chuma or Josh Ball going to be, lights out, But the good thing is you got reassurance there in Tyler Smith to kick out at left tackle if you need it.
Yeah.
But again, who plays left guard? Matt Forniak can, and Matt Forniak didn't do bad last year.
Matt Forniak is probably, of all the backups, probably the one that would ultimately probably has played the better of the group. You know what I mean? You're still bringing along your rookie, Awesome Richards. I think they're liking him more as a left tackle. So we'll see what happens there, Mike. Wide receiver group, Mike, we kind of hit on that there. Running backs, stock down on Ronald Jones. Got suspended. Now he's injured. Can't body, bro. Do you see him making the team?
No, I haven't seen him make the team in forever, Joe. He's not there. He was never there for me.
Yeah. If the cuts were right now, do they carry 3 backs, 4 backs? Who are your top backs here?
Oh, so here's the kicker, dude. So they're gonna keep Deuce Vaughn. All right, they're gonna make that bet and lay in it with Deuce Vaughn. All right. Now they liking what Dowdle does, but Dowdle can't stay healthy. Malik Davis and Dowdle, they're 2 different running backs. So I think the real competition is between those 2 guys. So I think you're going to keep 3 plus a fullback, that Hunter Lupek or whatever his name is, all right? And so it's Pollard, Dowdle, Vaughn, and that fullback.
Yeah, I think I'm going with Malik myself. I think Dowdle's going to get dinged up here probably in the preseason. He's just not.
It's a big possibility, but more juice. Dowdle has a little bit more juice than Davis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He just can't get on the field. Um, that being said, Mike, kicker, another position here. We kind of touched on it here offline. You and I have been screaming about they need getting that thing locked down. They're still messing with it, still monkeying around with it. So obviously they had this guy, here. He's been crappy since minicamp. Finally cut him. They brought in the USFL kicker Aubrey, and I think today he hit all of his kicks. So are they done there at kicker, or is somebody still possibly in the mix from another cut? Mason Crosby. What's your feeling here on the kicker? Is it going to be Aubrey?
No. Oh, Cowboys corner. He went 11-11. Listen. So you mean to tell me him and the other guy really sucked it up, all right, in practice? I mean, they were missing from 33, 43. They were missing a lot. One guy gets cut, then this guy goes 11-11 today because there's nobody back him. There's nobody that he's having competition with, so he feels a little bit more comfortable. So when he had competition in his face, when he was under pressure, Joe, he missed kicks. So what happens in a real NFL game when you got 100,000 people at AT&T Stadium, the ground's shaking, all right? There's 3 seconds left on the clock. Do I trust Aubrey to kick a game winner? Absolutely not. I don't think he can handle pressure, Joe. There's no competition behind him right now. And he goes 11-11, but when there was competition, Joe, he was inconsistent. I don't like it, Joe. The kicker's not on this football team. Robbie Gould, Crosby, one of those guys, that could be your kicker.
Yeah, I feel the same, man. I'm just like, I want to see what these guys do in the preseason, bro. Like, let these guys line up, and I want to see this guy kick some balls, man. Like, kick him through. I don't want to see some barely making it shit or thinking and barely going in. I want down the middle, man. Don't give me no bull crap. Yeah.
They're going to give you bull crap, Joe. It's the Cowboys.
Yeah. Don't give me none of that, man, because we've been waiting here for years, bro. We got to get to the conference title game minimum, bro. Minimum. All right.
What's under a Cowboy? There's always some bull crap.
Let's talk about some defense here, Mike. Eric Scott, all right, coming out of nowhere, pretty much. One of these late round guys, has speed, has size, kind of a Dan Quinn special, I guess you could say, and much needed, bro. I'm glad that we're getting good news from him, and it gives me relief because we know it wasn't going to be Kelvin Joseph. You know what I mean? No, I really want to roll out Nashawn Wright out there either. So it's good to see Eric Scott, and I want to see what he does here in the preseason. But what's your thoughts on the cornerback position in general? Do you feel good about it, and how do you feel about Eric Scott, Mike?
Eric Scott Jr. out of New Mexico, number 37. I like it. He's flying around. He's making plays. He's doing stuff, Joe. I think, hands down, top to bottom, this might be our best draft, all right? Because if Deuce Vaughn can give you some juice, if Jalen Brooks can stay consistent, and Eric Scott, those are our last 3 picks, all right? And if Eric Scott Jr. can do something, and then on the top end, you got Mozzie Smith, Schoonmaker, and Overshown, Demarion Overshown. This could possibly be one of our best drafts that we've ever had if they can all stay consistent, right? When the lights turn on, Joe, what will happen? The lights didn't turn on for Simi Fehoko, all right? The lights never turned on for Jalen Tolbert. Can the lights turn on to these guys, right? I love what Eric Scott Jr. is doing. If he can keep it up, Deuce Vaughn can give you some juice. All these guys, this could possibly be one of the best drafts we've ever had.
Yeah, man. I mean, you really nail it with when the lights come on, man, because that's what happens. Every year, Donnell Jenkins, bro. Thanks for super chat, Donnell. Good to see you back here. I would rather have someone accurate than a booty. a booter at kicker. Yeah, yeah, very interesting. Accuracy is the key. Accuracy is the key indeed. I love that, man, because it's what we need, and it feels like we haven't had that for a while, man. I mean, last year was crazy, bro. Like, we had we had Money Maher, and then what? I mean, it was the craziest crap ever, bro. You're gonna crap the bed in the playoffs. You can't make extra points. I mean, it was the wildest thing I had ever seen, bro. I've
It
never
started
seen
week 18 with
Yeah,
against the Washington Commanders.
yeah, you're right. But to continue that, I was just like, dude, are you kidding me, bro? So, yeah, Donnell, no, I know what you mean, man. We definitely gotta have an accurate kicker, not somebody that's barely making them, missing them. They gotta nail that down, bro.
100%, Joe. If I'm like this, trying to watch a field goal kick, even an extra point, Joe, we got a problem.
I'm saying an extra point. I should
Because
not
I'm
be.
literally like this, dude. Even on an extra point.
I know, and it should that should be something that you can walk away, go get your beer, you come back, we're whooping ass. Now it's like,
They don't make them
make this or not.
They don't make them like Dan Bailey no more.
Yeah, man. I mean, oh man, Bailey in his prime, he was something, man. But man, we've been struggling for a minute here with kickers here.
I just don't. I'm just so glad the Broncos signed Maher, dude. Because if they didn't, he would probably already be at camp.
Yeah, no, thank God, man. But they got to nail it down here. Mike, I like what you said there about Eric Scott. The other guy here that is doing really well, and he got a little bit dinged up here, and we're finding out that he got a little tendonitis in his knee. Is our first round pick, Mozzie Smith. I mean, mauling people left and right, man. Obviously, he's not going up against like a Zack Martin, but he is going up against NFL players and really showing why we drafted him. So the impact, Mike, of Mozzie Smith, I think is going to be felt on the defense, immensely. What do you think his snap counts are going to be here? Will we see him in the preseason now that when he's kind of got this knee issue, or are they gonna shelve him for now?
They're gonna shelve him up until maybe the last preseason game. I would, right? You don't want your first round pick doing that, missing a whole bunch of time because you wanted to play him. So they might shelve him for the first and second game. Maybe they won't for the second game, and I'm okay with that. But just relax him a little bit. Let his tempers cool down. I know competition's high right now, and just calm him down. Let him see his brothers play in the preseason. Get that knee right, and try for either for week 2 or week 3.
Yeah, no, I think that's what they're going to do too, man. I think they're going to ramp him down a little bit and just let that knee recover because you're going to need him. You're going to need him for the long haul for the season. So great competition all around, honestly, in this training camp. Not really going for a lot of the big hype plays because that's a lot of what you're seeing. You got to really watch the whole sequence of events really to grasp what's going on in camp, because people will just show the bad stuff. Sometimes they'll just show the really good stuff. You really gotta look at the whole camp as possible. So with that being said, Mike, how do you feel about the Cowboys in this camp? Do you feel like we've done enough to be competitive here for this upcoming season, or are we still lacking? What's our biggest weakness right now?
Oh, our biggest weakness, man. Safeties, corners, linebackers, defensive end, defensive tackles. I think you're good there. So on the defense side of the ball, I don't think there is a weakness. All right. Tight end, Schoonmaker's back. There might be something there. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a weakness there. Fullback, I doubt it. Running back, no. Wide receivers, no. O-line, yes. I think someone said in there that there were talks about them bringing in a veteran, and it didn't matter what happened with Zack Martin. They were going to bring one in anyway, so that's good. That's good. to know. They got their fingers on that pulse. Um, but I have to say O line, and Dak Prescott. I just defended him, but he needs to throw that ball. I get it. It's 7-on-7. You don't have a pass rush. You could literally have all day to throw that ball. But as soon as you get to 3 seconds, that ball should be out. And with Dak Prescott holding that ball and holding the ball on 7-on-7s, I don't like it, Joe. I don't like it. That could be a weakness there, but O-line for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ty Conley with O line as well. I think I think that is the biggest weakness, and I think it's. I think if I were Dallas, I would try to get a guy that you can count on as being a guard. You know what I mean? Maybe they go trade. Go you use do what they did with Gilmore and Brandon Cooks. Flip a late round pick. You know what I mean? They usually come away with like multiple fifths every season because of free agency, people that they lose and things like that. So
Yeah.
if I were Dallas, try to pick somebody off a roster, but O line is such a premium position.
Trade
Who's
Neville
gonna
Gallimore.
Yeah, so they might do that, but I would go for a guard. You know what I mean? Because we've seen Tyler play really good at tackle and guard. We like that versatility. So whenever Tyron does get dinged up, you have that certainty like this guy can do it and he can do it at a high level. But then like we were talking about, who then becomes that left guard guy there? So and then you still have the question about Zach, who if you have a solid backup guard, I think is what this team needs. So if Bobby Belt said that, then there's gonna be something to it. You know what I mean? Hopefully they do make a move there for another offensive lineman, because from what I've seen in camp, I would not want to see one of those guys starting there at the guard position, man, in place of Zach or Tyler or whatever. You know,
Oh, for sure, dude.
you know. But that's all we have today, Mike. We have the preseason game coming up here for the Jaguars. Starters probably not playing this game whatsoever. But it's really going to highlight the guys who can play under the lights. We always say it all the time, it's going to separate, the men from the boys. It always does. You know what I mean? So, he's turning heads. He's turning heads in camp. And then when the lights come on, they fold like a cheap suit. So I want to see Jalen Brooks is a good example. He looks really good. Now, if he can stack it in the preseason, we got something good here with him. The other guys, Jalen Tolbert, I want to see him succeed. Please show up, bro. Please show up in the preseason. Fehoko, I just ain't seen it in any regard. He's going to have a spectacular preseason to make this team, bro, in my opinion.
No, he's going to have to do something because we all know that Turbin's going to be here. So,
Mm-hmm.
so Jalen Brooks is really competing with Fehoko. Jalen Brooks and Fehoko, that's your camp battle, right? And so I Jalen Brooks has to stay consistent, and Fehoko has to do something. But right now, Jalen Brooks has the edge.
Yeah, I think so too, bro. I think so too. Mike, great talking to you after the vacation here, guys. We will be back to our regular schedule now, moving forward. I think we'll probably get together here after the Jaguars game, Mike, if we can. And
I'm down. After the game, let's go live.
Yeah. So we'll do that, guys. Make sure you guys pound that like button on your way out. If you're watching this on the replay, pound that like button. If you're interested in one of these Cowboys block foil shirts, hit me up. Send me a DM on Twitter, and I can get one out to you. Mike, let everybody know where they can find you if they haven't already, bro.
Yes, Cowboys Corner on the X Twitter. All right. I am on Threads. Same handle, _Cowboys Corner on Threads. All right. Cowboys Corner right here on the tubes. All right. At official Cowboys Corner on the tubes. So follow it up, guys.
There we go. That's my bro there. All right, guys, that's all we have tonight. Thank you for everybody in the comments. Great stuff. Thank you for the super chats. And we'll see you for the next one, guys. Peace out, man.
Let me talk to you.